Hi everyone. So we are live with another podcast today. So in this particular podcast, we will be discussing about like how we can ace your next hackathon, right? What kind of steps you can follow, and also we'll be discussing like some of the projects, like how we can build a great projects in the hackathon in the 24 or 36-hour time frame. So, before going to the podcast session, let me give a small introduction about AceHack. So, AceHack 3.0 is one of the Jaipur biggest hackathon. So, this time we will be conducting this hackathon in the month of April 6th and 7th. And we will be having more than 25 lakh plus bounty track on our hackathon. So, if you are a Web3 developers or a Web2 developers, this is like a one-stop solution for you. We can come, we can build. Also, we integrate another, track called, CTF. So where you can like hack one system and you can, also earn some bounties as well. So yeah. So today we have Soumava with us. So before going to the session, I will ask Soumava to introduce himself in a large manner so that everyone can understand his point of view and also like some of your experience in the hackathon space.
Yeah, sure, Saitya. Thank you for the invite. A little introduction about myself. I'm Soumava Banerjee. I have graduated from University of Engineering and Management, Kolkata, in the year 2023. I'm currently working as SD1 at Finard. Uh, I'm a full stack developer. Uh, regarding my hackathon journey, like I started in like 2021. I was in my second year itself. After we got acquainted with the basics of a stack, like I like jumped into hackathons and like I participated in many. I mean, it must be around 9 to 10 hackathons in my second and third year combined. And yeah, I won like a couple of them too. Uh, that's about it.
Awesome. So you participated in, 10 plus hackathons. So it's like a great number.
Yeah.
So we'd like to know like more about your projects, like what kind of projects you are building in the hackathon. So is there any kind of prerequisite that you prepared, before going to the hackathon? So what is your steps to, behind any kind of, hackathon?
Okay. Regarding that step thing, I mean, most hackathons which I've attended had a like specific format. So first of all, there's a selection round where we have to provide a PDF or a PPT of our ideas to the organizers, and the first filter happens in like that stage only. In that stage itself, we have to like formulate what we need to build. I mean, we must have a clear pathway of what we are building and like how we are going to solve a particular problem. uh, so yeah and like hackathon is not a single person sport, it's a team game. So like the particular areas in which one should work should be like equally divided in the team. That is also important. And I personally, I try to like model my projects according to a business need. So like if an application should like solve a particular problem that is like prevalent. I mean, there are themes as well that are like mentioned in the websites of hackathon. So if you check out AceHack's website too, there are themes also there. So try to build around those themes, see if your ideas to what you are thinking matches with that theme or not. Try to like mold your solution to that particular theme, and yeah, something nice will like be developed at the end of it. So yeah, that's my plan.
Definitely. So a lame question, but I want to know like how many hackathon like have you owned?
I won three in total. Not a big number, but yeah. Uh, like I participate mostly for fun. It's not like I have to win or something with that like start mindset. No, I and my like most of my teammates all just like attend hackathons for fun, and like the win is a byproduct. The fun is the main thing. So yeah.
Definitely, definitely. If you can go in any hackathon, lots of networking will happen with your fellow developers, and on top of
Yeah.
this, lots of mentor will be there. So you can interact with them. You can get a lots of guidance from them as well. And also like the
Right,
free
right.
food kind of stuff is also there. Cool. So also know wants to know about some of your projects. Like, can you provide an overview of your projects that you build in the hackathon, and it's like some great projects, or you own that hackathon?
Yeah. Regarding my projects, I have my a few of them which are like my favorites. So talking about those, first of all, it was I think I built it in out of context, which was an hackathon in IIIT Allahabad. So like our team was runners up in that one. So it was like peak COVID time at that point, 2021. It was I think if I'm not mistaken. So like we built like the application was supposed to consume data, medical data from different kinds of patients. So we got that data set from Kaggle and we tried to build a chat bot which is specific to that particular user's history. So for one user, you provide the medical files of them in a PDF format or something, like if it is like parsable by text, it is fine. And text parsable format you give it, you enter a couple of them, and the system will generate a chatbot which is specific to you. So you can ask questions, like ask solutions to them, like suppose if you have a medical condition, you can ask about that medical condition, ask if the parameters are normal or not. Kind of, it's not for what you can say doctors replacement or stuff, but yeah, it's a fun project, and yeah, we built it. And like it was great building it, learned a lot in that one.
Awesome. So, one more question that's arise over here. Like, when we're building any kind of projects, there are lots of error that we encounter personally, right? And so how
Right.
you overcome with that particular challenge, and what kind of challenges you are facing mainly when you are building any kind of projects in hackathon.
Right. So the first thing is, I think this is a like mistake which I did a lot when I was like initially starting out. Like I just like without any plan, I just like dive in headfirst into it. Like yeah, I have to build it. No worries, it will happen. But later I realized that that's not how it's done. So before like directly aiming for that particular solution, I chalk out the components, draw boxes. I mean, what each component should do, and divide those components among teammates. So one person is responsible for building only a part of the application, and at the end we round it up. So in that way, like the errors are also confined. I mean, I am dealing with only errors in the front end side, for example. So that part, the like if the context is short, I mean, one does not have to deal with multiple languages. One is only coding in JavaScript and React, for example, building it out the front end. So the context switching loses focus. I mean, if a person switches context from Python back to that, I mean, there is a context loss, and for in that loss of context, bugs generally appear, and it becomes difficult to debug. So yeah, I believe roles should be defined in a hackathon, and what each person is doing, and with that, and Stack Overflow, the normal debugging stuff is there. Stack Overflow is the god of everyone. And also nowadays there is ChatGPT, Gemini, so
Yes,
many LLM tools. Yeah, these were not in our time. There was no ChatGPT. We have to manually go and debug. Yeah,
definitely.
utilize those tools. That's it.
Awesome. So another thing comes into my mind, like how did you manage the time constraint? Because like there are maybe 24 hour, maybe 36 hour. So lots of things have to
Right.
do in the hackathon. So how you managed your time constraint, and what's your steps?
Yeah, so time management is definitely one of the most important things in hackathon. So it's not like you have a month to build that project, you only have those 36 hours that will gonna decide the fate of the application or project. So yeah, time management is extremely important. As I said before, the role should be strictly divided, and also it is important to chalk out the scope of the application, right? You cannot build a production ready application in that short amount of time. It is okay if there are a couple of hacks which you're using, uh, a couple of places here and there things are not working, you like add a hack. That's fine. It's not like you have to build production ready application. It if it passes the judgment step, that's enough for that particular hackathon. That's what I believe. So like I did that only. it's not possible to build a production grade application in that short amount of time. Build with whatever you have, scope it out, focus on features that will impress the viewers actually. If like you can see something and the judges were like, oh wow, this is amazing, that's the impact we are trying to have. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's the main thing which we focused when building our projects.
Definitely, that's a great point. And also, like, I guess mentors and the the organizers will give you some sort of suggestions in the during the hackathon. So
Right.
again, another question come into my mind, that is, like, did you integrate any kind of suggestions coming from the mentor in your particular projects, or just you ignored that, or what kind of thing exactly you were doing if any mentor give you some certain suggestions in your project?
Yeah. So, in hackathons, like in 36-hour formats or 24-hour formats, there would be one mentor session particularly designed in which you have to present whatever you have built to the mentors. And that I believe is one of the most important phases if you want to win the particular hackathon. Because like when you present your solution to the judge, or I mean whoever is your mentor, you will get like what I can say, a reaction. Okay, that can be positive reaction, that can be negative reaction as well. So some of the judges will like it, some will not like. So with some the idea won't sit right. So you have to identify like what is exactly missing, or like the feedbacks are extremely important. If you feel that the feedback is like currently out of scope, or it will take too long to integrate, or yeah, it's not possible at all, then I would say that like don't worry about that. But if it is a right suggestion, or you can think that yeah, I can build it in that amount of time, it is possible to build it, or it is possible to pivot the solution from what we are building to what the judge is trying to see, or what that mentor is trying to see. If you think you can pivot that solution to that point, I believe that yeah, it is absolutely critical to incorporate those feedbacks.
So we have to think about it, like how we can integrate and everything on this particular timeline, whether it is feasible or not, right? So
Right,
also,
right, it
like
depends on
Mhm.
context.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
So
So
yeah, let me give you an example. I think that would be the best thing. So,
definitely, definitely.
in Hackathon 2K21, it was by Triple IIT Hyderabad, I think. In that, we were trying to build a like a vaccination kind of thing, but it was totally. The idea was that the users will sit back in their home and they will pick up batch dates in which the like suppose a user picks up like one date. There are multiple users, for example 10 users in one locality, they all pick the same date, and we use like a certain kind of a graph traversal algorithm for like a van to pick the shortest path to reach all the houses. And also the what I can say, the vaccination has like a certain limit, after that it can't be used anymore. So we added that to our calculation as well. So the feedback from the interviewer was like what I can say, to like show the whole point thing moving from one direction to another. So it was not possible to build that during that time. I had around like 5-6 hours left from the hackathon to end. It was not possible to add that particular logic from point A to point B to point C to point D to move the whole thing in graphs. I mean, in maps using Leaflet. Obviously, we have multiple libraries. We can do that, but it would have taken time. So I just added a simulation. I mean, the points would be visible and like the movement would be simulated. I mean, it was a static thing. It was like an
Mhm.
animation. You play it, it will map it, and if you pause it, it will just pause. So
Awesome.
it was only for demonstration, and that thing like really impressed the judge. But like
Okay.
it was not a complete solution. So yeah,
Ah.
that's it.
Hmm. So that's crazy thing. And
Yeah.
also, like, you own three hackathons, right? So in your
Yes,
opinion,
yes.
what sets your projects apart from other submission in the hackathon? What kind of USP
See,
is there in your hackathon, in your projects?
uh, that's an interesting question. So, like, uh, in the judging phase, like there were amazing, amazing projects. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
the thing that would set apart your project is that like it has to be like the features you are trying to show should be complete. I mean, a good UI also helps if the UI is great, and also like I remember there was one occasion, it was Pascathon. I built like a chatbot kind of thing. It was like the idea was one of my friends was trying to monetize his community. Okay, so he had a Discord community. He posts about health and fitness, and like he wanted to monetize it. So suppose like that, receive 10 tips from me and pay me rupees 10, just an example. So like I built like an application. In that application, you have like multiple bots, Discord bot, Slack bot, WhatsApp bot, like that. You can invite that bot to your space, and we integrated Razorpay X payouts. That is a concept which Razorpay recently introduced. And like we were also trying for to integrate that into a project because Razorpay was, I think, was sponsored in that particular hackathon. And yeah, adding sponsored text to your tech stack into your solution really gives you a boost. So yeah, we integrated that, and suppose if the user types in like slash pay rupees 10, it will initiate a payout link of that particular amount, and like the user can collect payments, the community manager can collect payments from their community and monetize it. So yeah, that was one of the projects we built. So yeah, in that thing, I mean, you can see that there were amazing projects in that solution, but I also never thought that our project would win that thing, but it ultimately won because I remember the judge clearly said that your solution is the most complete one among all the things. It was not the most fantastic solution out there, but yeah, it was complete. The end-to-end flow was complete. The money was getting transaction was happening in like real time. It was amazing to see it live. That's what the judge said. And yeah, like I also received an internship out of it. So yeah, that's the most memorable one in my
So
experience.
awesome. So in this answer, you gave us like two important things. Firstly, whenever you are going to any hackathon, you can try the sponsored track. So because in that
Right.
sponsored track, there is a lot of not so many traction is there, right? So the winning probability will be uh, c- a bit
More.
higher comparison to other thing, right?
Right. Right.
And also you mentioned the internship part, right? Whenever you are building some projects on the particular sponsored track, you can get a chance to work with that company as well, right?
Right.
So this kind of things you can grab from the hackathon. So okay, so we are at the end of this particular podcast. So lots of people are in the newbie in this particular podcast. So what will be the beginner steps, like how anyone can participate and they can build up projects if they're new into the hackathon space or they're new into the coding space?
Right. So first of all, like as usual, learn a particular stack, MERN stack or like Angular with some backend framework with a database. That's it. That is predominantly enough. So like one front end framework, one backend framework, one database, like that thing. If you're building tech products, also like have someone in your team who can present that solution. This presentation is just as important as building that solution. One has to like the judges will also cross question your solution when you're presenting it, why this should work or why the user should be using your application, like that kind of questions. So you should prepare those questions beforehand, because like in that spot you have like already less amount of time to present your solution, maybe 5 minutes at max or 10 minutes if you're lucky. So yeah, so you have to prepare that as well. Uh, also yeah, and like don't think so much that yeah, I'm gonna lose. Like I have lost most of my I mean, I have won only three. The rest of them, like the rest of them I like lost. And yeah, that's not like that's not what bugs me at all, because like ultimately you get great projects to showcase in your resume. You can post it on LinkedIn and get some traction on your profile as well. So and you get a lot of networking out of it. I've made great friends over the internet when like in hackathons. So don't think about losing or winning like that. Just go and participate, and you will know the things in the hackathon itself. Okay, the mentors are also here, very helpful. Reach out to them, learn a language, create a problem, read the problem statement, or like build your problem statement that you want to solve, and yeah, just build a solution around it and present it to the judges. That's all. Like don't think about winning and losing and like that kind of stuff. So yeah, that would be my advice.
Definitely, definitely, that's amazing. So, if you have any kind of questions, just feel free to comment down in the chat section. We'll happy to answer your question. So, we'll be ending this podcast in upcoming 1 to 2 more minutes. So, any last note, Somava, for your from your end, if you wanna add anything in the podcast, any friendly advice for a hackers?
Yeah, the only advice I would say is that like hackathon is like intensive, and you have to stay awake for like 36 hours. Sometime you don't get to sleep at all. So yeah, just look out for your health. That's a bit, that's like one of the most important things. So yeah, stay hydrated during the hackathon. Like don't just like build. It will like overwhelm your mind. So it's important to stay like get rest during the hackathon. Let your team members handle it, work in shifts and stuff, build out a solution, and let the presentation guy or presentation person handle the presentation while you get like a little nap of 20 minutes 1 hour. Like you have to make that. I mean, without that nap you can't like function properly in that like 48 hours or 24-hour format. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
Like
that's it from my
definitely.
side. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. You have to take some rest in between your hackathon, because otherwise, you don't need to compromise your health, right? you
Right.
know. So yeah, that's it for this particular podcast. So if you are new into the channel, hit the subscribe button and also like this video, and do share with your friends, because your friends might learn multiple stuff through this through this particular podcast. And also, if you want to be the part of AceHack, just go to acehack.evm.edu.in and you can register for the hackathon, and see you in the Jaipur. So thanks a lot, Soumavo, for joining us, and it's really like lovely talking to you. Thanks a lot for joining.
Yeah, thank you Saitya for inviting me as well. Like had a great session today. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot, everyone, for joining. Bye bye.